Hi guys! Usually towards the end of autumn, start of winter, I get asked one question quite a bit, and that is, how do I tell if a plant that looks like this crepe myrtle next to me is alive or dead? Okay, so in this video I'm going to share with you 3 techniques by which you can tell if your plant is alive or it's dead. I'm Komal and welcome to my channel, Urban Hobby Gardener. If you are new here, I make free videos to help you on your gardening journey. So if that's of interest to you, I invite you to subscribe to my channel and press that bell icon so you don't miss any of my updates. And when I'm not on YouTube, I do update my Facebook page pretty often with helpful tips. So if you're on Facebook, do check out Urban Hobby Gardener. Okay, so let's get started on those 3 techniques. The first technique is that about visual inspection, and in this visual inspection you're basically looking for signs of life, okay? So you're looking for green stems, which this plant is not showing any, or you're looking for, really kind of like small buds, or small little something that kind of says that, hang on, this plant is still alive, right? Now, unless I take you in really up close to this plant, you probably might not be able to see the new buds. So let me zoom in and I will show you what these tiny little buds on the crepe myrtle look like. Now, can you see those tiny little things that are sticking out at the side of the stem all the way through the stem? Okay, those are actually signs of life in a crepe myrtle. Just like these little green buds are signs of life in my hydrangea plant. But if you're, a relatively new gardener, that can be a really hard technique to pick up, okay? Especially on something like a crepe myrtle. If you see those little green buds on something like a hydrangea, that is obviously a lot easier, okay? So the second thing you can try is the Tug Test Method. Now, in the Tug Test Method, what you're basically doing is giving, a small little stem like this, just a very gentle kind of pull, okay? You're not pulling with all your might and all your force, okay? You're just giving it a little bit of a tug, okay? Hence the Tug Test, okay? And if that plant resists you, okay, then that basically, again, is showing that the roots are alive, the plant is alive, and hence that's why it's staying anchored down, okay? So again, that is a plant that is alive, okay? Having said that though, I mean, this crepe myrtle, the size of this crepe myrtle is kind of, its longest stem is just a bit shy of my own height, and I'm about like 5'4", so a tug test on a plant this size, or trees that are taller than this, obviously is not practical, but it works very well on some of your really tiny plants, okay? So then what do you do on a plant that is this size or even taller? What you do on plants this size is basically the third and final test, okay, which is about checking for the cambium layer. Now, the 3 tests that I'm showing you, you obviously don't have to do all 3 of them on the one plant, okay? As you would see from the examples that I'm sharing with you, hopefully you could still hear me with that car zooming past. As I'm kind of, saying with all the 3 examples, right? Each test has its own relevance depending on the kind of plant that you're testing for to see whether it's alive or dead. Okay, so let me show you what that cambium layer test looks like. And by the way, if you have found this video helpful and useful, please do give it a like and please do give it a share. Now, to test for the cambium layer, what I have done is I've taken one of the kind of strongest stems of this crepe myrtle, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a bit of a scratch. Okay, so I'm just using my nail, okay, and I'm just going to give it a bit of a scratch. And now you can see that where I have been scratching, okay, the brown stem has revealed a, small green layer within it. That layer, that green layer there, that is the cambium layer. And because that is green, that is sign to show that it is alive, okay? This crepe myrtle is very, very much alive, okay? Now, before you ask, okay, well, what happens to, this bit that I have just scratched, okay? Especially because it's winter, and here in Southeast Australia, we get a lot of rain in winter. So this bit that I have just scratched, okay, is that going to get infected? Like, will it heal itself? What is it going to do? Okay, so let me show you an example of what it actually does. Now, plants that are alive and doing well, they're very smart as well, okay? You can see that here, okay, this is the patch that I had scratched a little while back. More like, say, about 2-3 weeks back, because you know, I was kind of telling them, showing them the same thing to someone who had come to my garden, that, you know, this is how you test for the cambium layer. Look, you know, the plant is definitely still alive, okay? And 2-3 weeks later, okay, this is what it's done. It has actually healed itself. So this brown here is obviously a different color to the rest of the brown, because it's kind of like, you know, say when you get hurt and you're kind of like, you know, your injury puts like a little scab on top of it, okay? So this is what this thing has done as well. So if I go down to the green bit I have scratched, which is just right there, okay, if I was to come back to the same portion of the plant, okay, in about, say, 2-3 weeks time, then you would see that it's done this exact same procedure that it has done here down there as well. Okay, so I really hope you found that useful. Those were the 3 techniques, and until my next video, happy gardening.